Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Zachy J, and today we're going to be talking about honing your intuition. And when you start the day, everyone has something that they like to do. And one thing I like to do to hone my intuition is start it off right. You know what I mean? A little bit of a picnic, a little bit of a Sunday, a little bit of a sun on to the chest, to say the least. Did you sun your heart today? I don't know. Some people are not doing that, and they wonder why. They're just so disconnected from the world around them is they stopped being a part of it. You know what I mean? They started being in a little island and thinking that, hey, they don't need things like that. But I think we do, especially if you want an intuition that's on point. Because something I get asked is, how can I trust the things that I feel? And how can I trust the direction that my feelings are pointing me towards? Because sometimes I followed them, and guess what? It led me down a path that was unsavory. And I didn't feel like it served me. I felt like I might have actually been driven by more negative desires in the guise of something wonderful, right? So this is a question I had to ask myself too. And I think we all have to ask ourselves. We all have to come to terms with the fact that we have an intuition, right? And you have the ability to make it better, secondly, and that you have to meet it where it's at. And it might not, when you dive in, be hyper accurate because you might have let it atrophy. What does that word mean? Atrophy. You might have let it get weaker. It might have been that you've been ignoring it for a long time, and all of a sudden you want to trust it now, and it's giving you mixed signals. So, what did I do when I came across this? I first started identifying in myself that you have this inner voice, and this inner voice is sending you into directions. And just like the undercurrent of our consciousness, the undercurrent of our consciousness is emotional, and we are making decisions upon that and rationalizing our way back to it. You're rationalizing our way straight back to it. And if you are leaning into the trusting of your intuition and you're ready to hone it, you also have to be ready to make mistakes. Because like with any skill, when you first start tapping into it, you might not be at your highest level, not yet, right? It's okay to be not at your highest level. It's okay to have a little bit of a learning curve. You don't need to be hitting home runs the first time you pick up a bat, So when you are starting, have an idea that there's progress. And this is why it's beautiful. Because if there's progress, you only get better. And when you get good, you can get great. And once you start getting great, things start going on autopilot, And you can actually trust yourself in such a way that when your intuition is pointing you down the complete unknown, directing you straight into the heart of chaos, straight through potentially the dark night of the soul, you know that deep down it's working in your favor. You know deep down that it's going to be okay. That the person that's going to see this through is not the ego. You can leave that ego behind. And you can trust in the heart space that's guiding you forward. And I understand, especially if there's guys out there, we need to have a little structure. We want to know what's up and how we can use our minds effectively so we don't have to purely rely on faith. We have the ego for a reason, right? It's not our enemy. The ego is not the enemy. It's an ally. But don't mistake it for the only source of information, for the only source of information and inspiration. Do not mistake it for the only source of those two things. It is a very helpful guidance tool, and it should be used to sharpen the intuition like a whetstone. It's used to sharpen the more powerful tool. It is used to make sure that your other tools are in crisp working order, and they are not being atrophied or left behind or not used. You are going deep into yourself and pulling out the wellspring of infinite wisdom that resides in your heart center and all the intelligence centers of your body, actually, not just your heart center, but man, the heart center will start transforming your life more rapidly than you might anticipate. It might start overhauling your life. And I think that's what a lot of us want. We don't want just a little nudge. We want the whole shebang. We want the entire pie. And we want to dig right in. We want to dive right in. So if you are willing to do this thing called trusting yourself, you can double check your decisions. This is where the mind comes in to sharpen it, right? You make these decisions understanding that when you're starting that there may be mistakes that are made. But if you are aware, you're plugging in your consciousness, you're plugging in your mindfulness, and especially if you can establish that baseline for yourself through, say, skilled meditation, that you have that baseline of mindfulness. If you have that already, holy cow, you are right there. You are right there. You are capable of honing your intuition to the highest levels. And how are you going to do that? Okay, you're going to do what we all do. It's called experimentation. We're going to experiment in life. We're going to check the facts. We're going to see the results. We're going to closely monitor how we feel when we're making these decisions. We're going to closely monitor how we feel after we made these decisions. We're going to compare notes between the two, the before and the after. And then we're going to get better at feeling the location of our decisions that show up in our life at the highest level. We're going to feel that location. And those locations come from our bodies. Those locations come from the inner sources of intelligence that are at different parts of our bodies. And we have to learn how to access them through different techniques. And we have to learn to channel them into the real world through decisions. It's very important. You can't just hope that your intuition gives you the best decision that will change your life entirely if you don't even trust it with the small decisions, right? You don't trust your heart space with your highest excitement yet, right? You don't trust your heart space with taking you on an adventure yet. It is calling out to you saying, hey, come hither. Come hither. It is time to go on a wild, adventurous ride. And I know you've been carefully cultivating yourself and making sure that you are comfortable and safe. I know that's what you're doing, but come outside, let's play. It's plunking rocks at your window saying, come on, it's time to play outside. It's sunny. Why don't you join? And you're like, well, I have homework to do, and then later on I have a project, and then, maybe I have to do, go out there and make some money too. And it's like, oh, you don't even want to spend a little bit of time? You don't want to spend a little bit of time? So you got to spend that little bit of time so then you can spend that great deal of time. And that great deal of time is a level of mastery with your intuition. And it's easy to see. It's easy to see how your intuition can improve. And you can do that every day. You can start today by watching your intuition, seeing how your intuition shows up for you, and then slowly honing that over time with the sharpening stone of your ego. Just seeing that this is where those decisions are leading me, but also trusting those decisions to lead you through completely unknown territories. It's not a hard thing to do, but it's a hard thing that what is hard, the technical thing is not hard to do, but what is hard is the trust. And where are you going to put it, right? And are we going to outsource it to the ego, or are we going to insource it into ourselves? You have to figure out, what are you going to do? Outsource it to the ego, or outsource it to the world, which is what most people are doing, or are you going to insource it? And as soon as you insource it, you're going to find what something is inside, and that inside is called insight. So insource it, find your insight, start controlling destiny, tap into your fate. It's all there. It's all there. It's ready for you. Okay. So I deeply appreciate everyone that's showing up, that's giving me a listen. If you could do me another favor and give me a like and subscribe, that would be awesome. We are all sharing this consciousness together, and we can make it a beautiful and better place. So let's just do that. and enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye.